Hi guys, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I must have hit a button. So yeah, I have it on wheels, so I roll it in and out of my baking room into my kitchen when I need to use it. It's awesome. All right, so this is done. Let's bring you over here. All right, so see, this is a little too soft. I'm gonna go another 30 seconds. You want a stiff meringue, but not super stiff. Okay, that's what we're looking for. This also helps cool the mixture because we're gonna be adding butter. Okay. I'm gonna take you out of here for a minute. Just so you can ask some questions because it's so loud. It's really a great recipe to try. I've tried all the Swiss meringue buttercream recipes out there with using the pasteurized egg whites, and I just don't like them because I don't know. I've used so many different types of powdered sugar. I don't like the grit. I just don't like the grit, period. So this works for me. It doesn't take that much longer than the others. So recipe again. Okay, it's a 1, 2, 3 recipe. Really easy to remember, and it's easy to cut in half. And it's easy to triple, double. I'm doing 4 batches today, all right? The sugar seems more rich. Well, it's less sweet for sure, and it is, I whip it a lot, so it tastes like whipped cream, like a whipped cream frosting. Okay, so the recipe, I'm sorry. So it's 1, 2, 3. Let me just get through this. 1 is 8 egg whites, okay? 2, 16 ounces of sugar, okay? So that's 1 pound of sugar, 8 egg whites, 16 ounces sugar, and the third number is 32, right? So you have 8, 16, 32. 32 ounces of butter, which is 2 pounds. Yes, 8 egg whites, oh, thank you so much. 8 egg whites and 1 pound sugar, 2 pounds butter. 1 tablespoon of, okay, you can watch a replay. Thanks, Sticky Fingers. I'm making real Swiss meringue buttercream. 1 tablespoon of real vanilla and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I'm going back in. This is done. You're looking for it to be stiff and shiny. You see that? See the gorgeousness of that meringue. I love it. All right, let me put you back on. Back on the stand. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just take this, get as much off as possible. Don't worry about it. I used to stick my fingers in and get every last bit. I don't care. It's too much bother at this point. Okay, so take my spatula and just, you can see there's stuff around the edge here. So I'm just going to take all that down. And I'm getting ready to add my butter. Okay. Now, put this back on the mixer. It's nice and cool now too, because we went for so long. I'm going to add my 1 tablespoon vanilla. I'm going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to eyeball it here. Then I'm going to put my paddle on. And then I'm going to just add my butter. I'm going to move this. And just for later, what I'm going to do is, after this, I have an ABC buttercream, which is an American buttercream. And then I actually use Magnolia Bakery's recipe. And I also, later, I'll be doing a chocolate ganache, a lemon syrup. I have my whole list here. I have a peanut butter frosting I need to do. And I'm going to be making salted caramel. So, from scratch. That is an unbelievable recipe. I'm going to bunch these together during the setup, okay? So I think, yes, I heated the egg whites and sugar together over a double boiler, in my setup here. Here, I'll flip this real quick. It was just a pot of boiling water, and I put my mixing bowl right there. No fuss. Yeah, I'm going to scope them all. I'm just going to put them together. Yes, heat to 140, that pasteurizes them. It also melts the sugar. Okay, so I'm going to just start putting the butter in. So I'm just putting it on low to start. Turn this light on, maybe that makes it easier. I got all my butter. It's room temperature butter. I took it out of the freezer last night and left it on my counter, and this is what I got. You don't want it melted because the oil separates and then it gets icky. So I'm just gonna break big hunks and throw them in. Nothing fancy, you don't need to cut, just use your hands. Whoop. Can't see your questions yet, so hold on. My hands are all buttery. Okay. See, I'm not being careful. I'm not adding little dollops or whatever. This is such a great buttercream because it's very user friendly. Turn this off there. All right. So now that all my butter's in, I'm going to turn it up. Oh, let me show you what it looks like. It looks like a hot mess. You see that? Let me lower this. It's like butter soup. You see that? It's disgusting. It's like, what is this woman doing? She's misleading me. I'm going to waste all these ingredients. Because it's magic. All right. That's what I love about this buttercream. Hard to do this from the back. All right, I'm going to turn it on medium speed. It's not going to take long. Don't blink. Love those hearts. Thank you. Woo! See, it's coming together. You see it? Can you see? Someone tell me if they can see the beauty. All right, I'm going to stop it and show you. What was that, like 10 seconds? Look, it's already starting. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Just wait. So it's still really kind of yellow. What I do is I whip it at medium-high speed. Okay, so what I do is I'll whip it at medium-high speed just until I think it's ready. And because I'm not going to use it till Thursday, I'm going to put it all in a bucket. And then when I'm ready to use it, I'm going to put it back in the mixer. We are making real Swiss meringue buttercream. Real Swiss meringue buttercream. Okay, so I'm going to put this in a bucket, keep it in the fridge, and when I bring it out the next day, I'm going to put it back in the mixer, and I'm going to mix it on a slow speed to get rid of all the bubbles. But for right now, I don't really care about bubbles because it's going to sit for 2 days in the fridge. Oh, and by the way, in the fridge, this can last, a couple weeks probably, but I take all my flavored buttercreams and that are left over from recipes, I put them in little containers, and they're in my deep freezer for, I know this sounds gross, but years, and they're fine. Okay, here we go. And this is what gives it that whipped cream sort of feeling, mouth feel, taste. It doesn't taste like a block of butter. It doesn't, and it's not super sweet, but sweet enough. The salt just heightens all of that. And what I love about it, and you don't need to sit here and watch it. What I love about this buttercream, no freezer burn, because I use a deep freeze. So a deep freezer does not, or mine doesn't, do a freezer burn. I use a upright freezer, so no freezer burn. What I love about this buttercream is, with crusting buttercream, anything with powdered sugar in it, such as the other Swiss meringue buttercreams, they dry in a matte finish. I want to see if I can find a picture. Here. With this Swiss meringue buttercream, do you ever add Crisco? No. If I have to do, I never have, in 12 years, I've never had a problem with melting. And I also, because of this buttercream, if there is an outdoor wedding with no air conditioning available, I will, if there's no air conditioning available, it's a wedding. I will deliver a wedding cake 1/2 hour before cutting because it'll melt. If there's air conditioning available, such as a building, yet everything's outside, Bella's Desserts is my Facebook page. The if there is like for instance, around here, there's like picnic venues, but there's a building that has air conditioning. I'll drop off the cake because it can stay there. I take pictures to make sure that everything was fine when I left. You want to do that. Take a picture before you leave the venue, especially if they're going to move the cake. You get the signature of the person that's going to move the cake. You have a picture of what it looked like when you left. So if there's any damage, I don't care what frosting you use. If there's any damage, you have the proof that it wasn't you. Anyway, so I'll just drop it off at the venue and then they'll bring it out. It can't sit in direct sunlight. I wouldn't want to eat a cake that's sitting in direct sunlight for a couple hours. But it does need to be served at room temperature, okay? And for instance, a wedding cake, I deliver it chilled, and by the time they're ready for cutting in 2 to 3 hours, perfect. Cupcakes come to room temperature in 15 minutes, just so you know. So I'm gonna show you a picture of, I don't know, let's see if we could see. Can you see the shine on that cake? See the shine on that cake? Can I hear an amen on the shine on that cake? So this Swiss meringue buttercream, because it doesn't have powdered sugar, is shiny. It's gorgeous and shiny. It's not matte finished like the powdered sugar, which is why I love it too. It makes it very unique. Goes under fondant excellently, although in my area, no one ever wants fondant. Although I just started making Lizzo's LMF fondant, and I think I'm going to give that to people in tastings because it is delicious and so great to work with. I've been using satin ice and I'm so over it because I roll it out and it's got elephant skin when I put it on. I can't stand it. It's what it is. It's not the granulated sugar specifically, but because I cook the egg whites and dissolve the sugar, as opposed to adding powdered sugar to pasteurized egg whites like all the other recipes, that's why it's shiny and not matte. But it is not crusting. You have to be really good at buttercream application to use this recipe because it is not crusting. Like you can't use the paper towel method to smooth it out. You gotta have a good level of decoration. All right, so this is done. I'm gonna turn this around. All right, so you see that? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I don't know.